After watching the Diddy trials, you know what I thought about? Damn, we got principles just like this. Protected, respected, and feared. And everybody knows, but nobody says a damn thing about it. Let's talk about that. See, in schools and in school districts, we have our own little ditties too. So real quick, fam, for the people in the back who've been living under a virtual rock, Pete Diddy is on trial, federal investigation trial, y'all, for having too much baby oil.
You know what they say, more money, more problems, and more baby oil. So take that. I'm a bad boy for life.
All jokes aside, fam, Diddy is under federal investigation. Homeland Security raided 2 of his cribs, one in LA and one in Miami. So you know they serious. They had the SWAT team out there, playboy. Why? Because they digging into several allegations. Sex allegations.
I got next.
Drug trafficking allegations. I mean, I guess he is the real Nino Brown. Hey, also they looking into sex trafficking allegations. Now, when do we start doing that as black folks? But hey, look, man, I'm not gonna judge the man because the trial ain't over yet. But let me say this. These stories go back decades, player. And you know I ain't lying. Y'all done heard the whispers. Y'all done heard the jokes about the baby oil and the basketball games. I'm joking on that, but for real though, these allegations have been filed, but the question becomes, with all the allegations that have been filed in the past, how did this man become richer, stronger, more powerful, and untouchable?
I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
Because at that time, he was valuable to the industry. He was valuable to the brand, and that be the problem right there. It's that power protects power, always. And before you say, it's all Hollywood, they don't do that everywhere, it's just there in Hollywood. Let me holler at you for a minute, man. Every job you ever had, it's the same thing. Power will protect power. So let's keep it real. It happens even in the school systems in your local area. They have the same disease. So let me give you this quick story. See, there's a man that was in my district, administrator level, y'all. Now, to the public, he was friendly. He knew all the right educational buzzwords, but behind closed doors, he did the Diddy. He had favorites. He made inappropriate comments to teachers, and he crossed the line plenty of times. And here's the thing. A lot of people knew about it.
A Toledo Public Schools principal in the district itself are defendants in a sexual harassment lawsuit.
Yeah, 11 Investigates has learned the principal was found to have sexually harassed a teacher of 20 years, but no discipline was ever handed out against him.
Melissa Andrews is here. Mel, how did this happen?
According to TPS's own investigation, this principal committed sexual harassment. But in a later disciplinary hearing in which no new evidence was supposed to be allowed, he was allowed to introduce evidence, and the alleged victim was not consulted.
Mucciaroni accuses Toledo Public Schools and Scott High School principal Carnell Smith of sexual harassment, discrimination, and retaliation in a lawsuit filed last month. In it, she details harassment by Smith in person and in text messages.
I get a text message, and it's a picture of my feet, from my knees down. And it just says, "Have a nice school year," with a smiley face in it.
Mucciaroni filed a formal complaint against Smith with the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources in April of 2023. She says Smith also told her she should wear more skirts or a dress and heels and said, "I know you feel sexy in those." also telling her she was hunting for a man. TPS conducted an investigation during which time Mucciarone says Smith's harassment grew into hostility. She says he was listening to her conversations and tracking her movements on school cameras. She let Human Resources know she was not comfortable working for him.
Folks, they knew about it. The teachers in the school knew about it. Other administrators in the building knew about it. Hell, even HR heard the complaints about it, but they brushed it off and did nothing. Because this man brought results. He increased the test scores. He was really charismatic to the PTA where people wanted to join. And what the rest of us do? We whispered. We kept it to ourselves. We kept our head down. Why? It was familiar throughout the district. So this ain't just a Diddy problem. This is a power problem. You think fame is the only way you're gonna shield a person? Nah, bruh.
We are following several breaking news stories right now, beginning with the Hilton school principal accused of abusing his students.
The Monroe County DA has just announced new charges against Kirk Ashton. Ashton now charged with sexually abusing 15 additional victims. He was arraigned today on sexual abuse, sexual conduct against a child, and endangering the welfare. Previously, he was charged with 11 counts with 11 previous victims. The alleged abuse carried out over several years in his position as principal of Northwood Elementary School in Hilton. Christian Garzone is in studio now with more on today's new notice of claim. Christian?
Well, the intention with this notice of claim is to bring a lawsuit against the district, the school board, and Principal Kirk Ashton. The family did not sit down for this interview, but their lawyer did. He says the level of hurt the victim and their family are experiencing can't be measured. Suspended Northwood Elementary School Principal Kirk Ashton was charged back in April with 7 counts of second-degree sexual conduct against a child, 7 counts of first-degree sexual abuse, and 11 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Ashton has denied the charges.
As a parent myself, I wouldn't even want to begin to imagine having my child come home and tell me that this happened to me.
Attorney Thomas Mortati represents the family filing the notice of claim. He says doing this case is like peeling back the layers of an onion.
And an onion you don't necessarily want to see the inside of at times. So it's difficult, just to put it bluntly.
He says the victim and his family doing as well as they can right now.
The damages are incalculable. Really, they are.
Mortati points out a notice of claim is not a lawsuit. Yet.
The district has the right, if they so choose, to retain counsel to take sworn testimony. Once that's done, then we can actually file a lawsuit.
For Mortati, we asked what justice looks like for the victim and his family.
Accountability. First and foremost, accountability. Acknowledgement that this happened.
Also that his client and the other affected families get access to support like counseling for as long as they need.
This is a level of hurt that you really can't touch upon properly.
Now, Mortati says with this case against Kirk Ashton, it could play out in the courtroom for years to come. Adam, back to you.
So what you're saying, Uncle Vic, here's what I'm saying. If your school has a known issue and folks are just walking around like it's a fire drill, then you're part of the problem. You're the reason why you got a Diddy in your school. See, leadership gotta lead. Stop moving abusers around to different schools as if they're getting traded in the NFL or the NBA. Stop treating teachers who speak up like they're the one that is the threat. Because while you're worried about your career and your reputations, students are paying the price. Young teachers are burnt out and the culture is rotten. Nobody wants to teach anymore. So the question is, who's the Diddy in your school? Are you the Diddy